Go.
Hi, welcome. Thank you very much for coming out today in this cold, snowy March, I guess we're into March now, afternoon to hear a little bit more about Empire State College. I hope that you'll be able to come away this afternoon with some facts about the college that may help you make a more informed decision about whether this would be the right opportunity for you. So, to begin at the beginning, my name is Jane Cudmore. I'm the assistant to the dean here at Empire State College, and I appreciate how glamorous that must sound, but I assure you, it runs the gamut from making our graduation plans all the way to dealing with, bad things that happen in the restroom. So, it's a little bit of everything. It's an every day is different kind of job, and that's really ideal for me. But enough about me. I want to give you some information today about Empire, and if you go away with nothing else today, I would hope that you would remember that we are part of the state university system. There are a lot of folks in the area who have still never even heard of us. I mean, in fact, we're such a big secret. Don't even tell anyone you were here today, okay? We wouldn't want word to get out that we've been in the Apple Tree Mall now for 8 years. And before that, we were downtown in the Market Arcade building for 10. And before that, we were in one of the old mansions on Franklin Street for 10. And before that, our first home was on the campus at Buff State. So as you can see, the college has been around for over 40 years. And the mission of the college was to create opportunities for degrees for non-traditional students. And by non-traditional, we mean not the usual 18 to 22-year-olds. We don't even market to that particular group. It's not that we aren't happy to see them if they find us, but we do things so differently here that's usually not the type of environment that the kids in the 18 to 22-year-old range are looking for. So, again, we are part of the state university system, just like Buff State, UB, you name it, on down the thruway, and your degree from Empire State College carries the full weight of a SUNY degree from any of the other institutions. We just do it a little bit differently here. And I'd like to talk to you today about how we do it differently. There are at least 4 specific areas that differentiate us from the other SUNY schools, and in fact most of other traditional colleges altogether. Now you have a handout there in front of you, and I'm not going to read it to you. We'll talk a little bit about what we do here. But the first thing that really differentiates us is that all of our students have the ability to create their own individualized degree plan. And what that means is we have no cookie cutter degrees here. You don't come to the door and say, I'm interested in such and such, and we hand you a sheet of paper and say, if you do this in this order, we'll see you at the end in 4 years and good luck. Everybody is coming to the table with something different typically because our students are non-traditional. Usually they have had some school. Some folks have an associate's. They're looking to bump up to a bachelor's. Some folks got started and stopped. Life got in the way. That's a very common story around here. Some people started and stopped 5 times. Well, the good news at Empire is we can take all of those credits and we can add life experience credits, which we'll talk about a little bit further in the presentation, and help you craft your own individualized degree program. Of course, the state university has its rules, so you have to work within the rules for the particular area of study that you're interested in. If it's business, obviously you'll need X number of credits in the business area at both the at the undergraduate level you would need it, introductory and advanced level, obviously. But you're not alone in this process, because the other thing that really differentiates us from the other colleges is the fact that all of our students have what we call a primary mentor. All of our students have a faculty person who is there to provide you with the guidance that you need to help create this plan. We don't expect you to be doing it out there on your own. In fact, part of the curriculum here is a 4-credit course called Degree Planning, and you do that with your primary mentor, okay? And you sit with them, they ask you a lot of deep probing questions, what is it that you want out of this, what's your goal at the end? They give you a lot of good information and leads, and they help you put together your particular program. Okay? Now, some programs are not as creative as others. For example, an accounting degree, there's certain courses you've got to take this, that, and the other thing. But we have a lot of people who come to us because they have varied interests. They have a lot of different things. They may have, 40 credits in divinity and another 40 credits in elephant training, and they need somehow to knit that all together. Well, we are about the only school that can do that. We even have an area of study called interdisciplinary studies. So we have the flexibility here at Empire to help you craft something that's really going to be meaningful and useful to you. Okay? So you do that in conjunction with your primary mentor. Our modes of study here are very different than in traditional colleges. You may notice we're not a very big facility here. We don't have the big lecture halls. You will never be one of 300 in a lecture hall. If you ever went to a traditional college like I started out and you were one of 300, I didn't even know what my professor looked like up close. And I was lucky to get an appointment with a teaching assistant. That will never happen here at Empire. This is one of the biggest rooms we have right here. Why? Because we do not have your typical Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Tuesday, Thursday schedule. Our students are learning either independently, meeting one-on-one with the faculty, or they're taking part in small group instructions. We call it study groups. Now, that's sort of an internal phrase for us. To me, when I first got here and I heard the phrase study group, all I thought it was a group of kids who got together and did anything but study. You know, it was a lot of eating pizza and fooling around. But here we call them study groups. And of course, online. That's a lot of people's biggest question these days is, do we offer online? And we are one of the leaders in online education in the state university system. And there are other ways. You can do cross-registration at one of the other SUNY facilities or even the community colleges. For example, we don't have a biology lab here, so if you're just desperate to cut up a frog, you're going to have to go someplace else to do that. But we'll make the arrangements for you, so you don't have to worry about that. And internships, lots of different ways that you can earn your credit here. But at no time will you ever have to, show up here 3 times a week. Study groups meet once every 2 or 3 weeks, for example. It may depend on the subject matter. A language, if you're taking it, needs to meet a little bit more frequently so that you can practice, the language. A history study group might be once a month. So you know when those are when you register. So if you're working Tuesday nights, don't sign up for a Tuesday night study group. Okay. And the fourth thing that really differentiates Empire State College from the other schools that are out there is the fact that Empire is in the really unique position of being able to offer credit for life experience. Now, this is one of these things in the education industry that has had about 4 different names in the past 10 years. The current name that's in fashion is called prior learning assessment. It's just what it says. We're going to assess your prior learning and figure out how much college credit that's worth. Now, this can be learning that you picked up anywhere, whether it's on the job, whether it's a hobby, whether you just watch the History Channel 24/7. If you can demonstrate that you have the same level of knowledge that someone who sat in some college classroom someplace has, we can give you credit for that. Most often it would take the form of writing a couple of pages and then speaking with the person who's assessing you so that they can, just make sure that you've given them everything and you can prove that you've got the knowledge. Oftentimes people will be asking for credit for something that's artistic, a musical instrument, an artistic portfolio. Well, in that case, we're going to want to hear you play, or we're going to want to see the portfolio. Whatever it is, we've got a means to assess it. And if we don't have somebody here on staff who can do it, we have a whole file full of folks out in the community who act as assessors for us. So that was really the 4 ways that Empire State College differs from the traditional schools. We allow you to craft your own degree program. You do that in conjunction with your primary mentor. You take your courses in a very flexible manner, and you can get credit for college credit for your life experience. Okay? What I want you to think about at this moment is how this might work for you. The reason this college was invented in the first place was because the SUNY system had a giant gap in taking care of folks who were non-traditional. And folks who are non-traditional tend to be people who have families and jobs and lives, children, and now even parents that need help. How are those folks going to get to, say, UB every day and park, and go through all that nuisance and still maintain some semblance of sanity? Empire is designed to meet those needs and make it very flexible and easy. Well, it's not easy. It's a lot of work, obviously. It's college. But we take the barriers away. That's what we've always said here at Empire. We try to take all those physical barriers and those time constraints away so that our students can really focus on their learning. So I thank you very much for coming out today. I hope I've given you some information so that you can think about Empire as an option for your studies. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.